It is Friday night live. It's Improv from New York City. Hey, thanks for joining us. It's 7:29. I'm a minute early getting online, but that's okay. The cast is excitable and they're ready to go. So the first thing we're going to do is a conducted story. We're all going to work together to tell a story and as a group together, but all in different voices. As a matter of fact, each of us has a different genre that we're going to tell our stories in, and I'm going to let the nice people tell you what they are, starting with Beth Ann.
I interpret horror.
Horror, excellent. Sandy.
Sci-fi.
Nice. David.
I need a doctor in here stat. It's a medical story.
Ah, good. Victoria.
Paranormal.
Taylor.
I'm telling a romantic story of love and life.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. JodyLee.
This is children's lit. That's it.
Oh, and now you've raised the bar to rhyming. Bonita, what are you doing?
I'm going in. Documentary.
Nice. And Steve.
We're going to be talking history today.
Fabulous. Hey, let's get started. The title of the story that has never been told is This Isn't the Way. This Isn't the Way. Subtitle, Doggy in the Street. This Isn't the Way. Subtitle, Doggy in the Street. Brought to you by our group here on Friday Night Live Improv. And let us start with Steve.
This Isn't the Way is based on older European politics, where the politicians could not decide one way of doing things, and so they continued arguing. This is not the way. No, that is not the way.
JodyLee.
They had a fit. It was not writ how they should work. There was such a quirk. So we asked the dog if he could help us find our way out of the bog with a frog.
Good. It's over to you, Victoria.
This particular bog was very, very lit up. It's almost as if they were watching it. It was green and blue and kind of glowing, and the dog had clearly had experiments done on it. Area 51 is a scary place to be for dogs.
Good. Sandy.
Hovering above the street. The beam was following the dog. And this way and that, trying to see if the implanted devices would be tracked and identified by the locals.
Excellent. Bonita.
If you guys don't hear me, that means they got me. I'm tracking the dogs now in the bogs, and it's not looking good. I think this has something to do with politics and animal cruelty. Oh, we're going in. Guys, you behind me? Okay, we're going in. Oh, I see doggy footprints. Oh, this is not the way. Oh, we gotta abort. This is too dangerous.
Taylor.
Their eyes met across the street. And for one long, long moment, each of them knew. They stepped closer to each other, chests heaving, loins on fire. Each step brought greater and greater desire.
David.
But that desire was tempered by the masks they wore to protect each other from the viruses burning within their hearts and their bloodstreams. The dog pulled out its inhaler, took a deep breath of cleansing medicinal albuterol. And she took out her stethoscope and, keeping her distance, placed it on the dog's beating heart. Thump, thump.
Beth Ann.
What she was bound to find out, but didn't want to know, was that the heartbeat was not that of a dog. It was that of the implanted alien heart. And the fog, the bog, and the frogs were all behind it. It was one of those things that just simply could not be explained, and
JodyLee.
So, she was in love, but she gave him a shove. She needed a glove. There was only a dove. He was gone.
David.
I need 30 cc's of Ekanakalikinaka to solve what just came out of the sky. And she pulled out from her medical kit a syringe 3 feet long. She plunged it into the dove's heart and sucked out the living goo and injected it into her love, the dog.
Taylor.
She had to save him. He was everything to her. He looked longingly, pleadingly. Save me. She said, I'm trying, dear one. Hold on. Hold just a little longer. And the dog reached out its little paw and gently touched her face and licked her nose in that way that lets her know that she is always loved. He closed his eyes and stroked her beautiful, beautiful alabaster and green from the glowing bog skin.
Over to you, Beth Ann.
it was the green glowing bog that had everyone concerned. That and Area 51 is not the place to be when it comes to frogs and bogs and dogs. The dog all of a sudden woke up and decided to attack, went straight for her throat and could not be stopped. It was one of those moments that could not be captured ever again.
Steve.
And so what we see here is a definite conflict between two different families in the Highlands, where they are fighting over the bogs with the dogs. And what the hell is Area 51 doing in this textbook?
Good. Sandi.
The beam of light, following the dog, guiding the dog, pulling back, going forward, trying to be more of the human variety, but the internal workings of the alien was in turmoil with the dog. And it was very hard to control from above, but they followed through bogs and frogs and other dogs who ran away. They ran.
So many dogs! So many dogs! Did you see that inhaler? I think that dog has got an upper respiratory infection. And it's a killer dog. Are you guys getting this? This is crazy. You know what? I bet you that dog started the pandemic. This is where guys, this is where it all started. Aliens and fogs and bogs and clogs and frogs and all that other shit right here. We're going to die tonight, guys. We are going to...
Oh, Victoria.
And because the dog seemed to be a threat to everyone, the tractor beam began to pull it up, and it started to float into the sky. And what everyone thought was a dark cloud above them the whole time was actually a ship. And the dog entered the ship, and the sky began to clear, and the sun came out. But the threat of the dog was long, long lost. Area 51 was saved, and the textbooks had to be rewritten. It was chaos. It was utter chaos.
Sorry. JodyLee!
Can I say? You've heard the way we all wanted to play. She tried to say, I love you to the dog in the bog.
Beth Ann!
But the bog was going to exact its revenge on everyone. It was one of those things that you could hear off in the distance. The dogs barking, the rest of the dogs. The one was saved. However, there was in the distance, in the fog.
Steve!
And so this goes to show you that history does not necessarily tell us the truth, nor does it tell us a lie. The dogs seem to have taken over Parliament in Old England, and no one knew why or how.
Sandi!
Floating away with the dog, they came to realize that alleged albuterol inhaler was left on Earth. Once it gets discovered, they will know it's not albuterol. It was helping them adjust to the atmosphere and make them breathe easier.
Taylor!
And they breathed so much easier. And they became more and more acclimatized and used to each other. And one dog asked another dog, is this the way? And the other dog answered, this is not the way.
David!
This is not the way to heal humanity. The way to heal humanity is through science. It's through rigorous mental training. It is not through love. It is not through emotions. It is not wandering around in the bog or the fog with a frog. It is not being abducted. It is through study, through inquiry.
Oh, yeah.
And the studies continued. And Coast to Coast Radio picked up the story and broadcast it west of the Rockies and east of the Rockies and everywhere Coast to Coast Radio could be heard, because this was a story for the ages. This is a story that makes or breaks society. This is the beginning. Or is it the end? We'll never know.
Bonita, bring it home.
I swear to God, there were dogs talking to one another. They were talking about the Parliament. One of them had an inhaler. One of them got beamed up. Do you understand what I'm saying? I saw it with my own eyes. It got beamed up into a spaceship. No, it didn't take me because I was running in the bog. And then there was fog, and then I fell. And then when I got up, all I saw was frogs. You gotta believe me.
And that's our story. Give them a round of applause. Hey, we're going to be right. Well done. Good story, everybody. We're going to be right back in a few more minutes with more improv, so you hang in there. Friday night, live improv from New York City.